Okay, now we've discussed what train blues is. We're going to have a look at the train blues number 1, the first idea of train blues, and it's quite a simple idea. Putting your first finger down at the 2nd fret of the A string, and we just hit it down with these 2 fat strings, the bass strings only. The strings below we can actually kind of deaden by just leaning this first finger across the strings. So we're kind of doing what we shouldn't do normally with chords, but this way it actually works in deadening all the rogue strings. So we don't want actually to open these strings up because they can be a little bit crashy. So if we just start with the first finger at the 2nd fret of the A string, and just hitting that twice, 1 and... Okay, so remember 4 beats to a bar, so what we're going to be using is also the and beats. So you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 beats, and in between those beats are the and beats. You've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 1, 2, 3, 4 is called on beats, and the and beats are called off beats, or the back beat. So we basically go 1 and we hit it down twice, and then we put a 3rd finger at the 4th fret of the A string. Just once, and that's your 2 beat. Then and again. So it goes 1 and 2 and. Okay. Then we continue through the bar, that's half the bar, we continue the rest of it. 3 and 4 and. Okay, so adding them 2 together basically goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's the train rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. I'm also using a little technique down the bottom of the guitar here. If you get your fleshy part of your hand and just rest it where the bridge starts, you can do it on acoustic and electric guitars, you get a nice kind of, what's called a dampening technique. A nice percussive sort of sound. You don't want to kind of go too high because you get a deadening sound. So what you want is basically a nice percussive sound. So go for train blues number 1 again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we can actually move it down, moving our first finger down to the 2nd fret of the D string and doing the same thing, 1 and 2 and but this time putting your 3rd finger at the 4th fret of the D string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this time you're only hitting the A string and the D string together, and the other strings are being deadened by the first finger leaning across. So that's your E riff and your A riff. Okay, so now we've got the 2 riffs, we can actually start putting it into the 12-bar blues format. So if we do 4 bars of the E riff, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that's 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and move our first finger down to the 2nd fret of the D string, same idea, just hitting these 2 bass strings now, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, moving back up to the E riff again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now we get to the turnaround part. We actually use the B7 we learnt in the original E blues pattern, putting your 2nd finger at the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st finger at the 1st fret of the D string, 3rd finger at the 2nd fret of the G string, and strumming down 4 strums. You can actually go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so it can be all down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and keeps in the same rhythm as the train blues. Move your 2nd finger down to the 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd finger goes to the 2nd fret of the B string for the A7, strumming from the A bass note down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's 1 bar. Back to your E7, 2nd finger at the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st finger at the 1st fret of the G string and doing the same thing, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and landing on a B7 as the unresolved chord, so it means it's a turnaround chord, it means it brings the progression round again in a loop. 2nd finger at the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st finger at the 1st fret of the D string, 3rd finger at the 2nd fret of the G string, and same idea, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay. And that's a turnaround chord, so what it basically means it turns the progression around again. So we start from the top. So we'll go through that one more time. 12-bar blues in the train blues. It starts with 4 bars of E, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of E, 1 bar of B7, 1 bar of A7, 1 bar of E7, 1 bar of B7. Okay, so from the top, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that's 1 bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that's 2 bars, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, that's 3 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that's 4 bars, and 2, moving down, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, moving back up. So that was in progression. And then B7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, A7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and E7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, B7, E7, and we'll go through again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's 1 bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's 3 bars. 1 and 2, 3. That's 4 bars. Moving to A riff. 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Moving back up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and B7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A7, 2 and 3 and 4. E7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then resolve on the E7 right at the end of the song. So that was your Train Blues number 1.